It says recording in progress. I am here with my mentor, Mr. Chris Bianco from SCORE. If you people don't know about SCORE, you should know. I knew about SCORE years ago, and I actually used them, and they were amazing in helping me set up a business. And then as I ventured into this promoting thing, I contacted them again, and I'm going to stop talking so he can. They introduced me to Mr. Bianco. Please tell us about yourself, sir.
Well, I'm Chris. Mr. Bianco is my dad.
Okay.
So pleasure, Yvonne. We've been working. Gosh, it's been almost 6, 7 months already, and it's been a pleasure to work with you because when we get good mentees that want to follow the advice and collaborate, then we get to a pretty good success. And I know you're coming up to your what's your third show down here, and very excited to hear how it's growing compared to the past two that you've done. Um, gosh, I've been in business for almost 40 years, and SCORE is just one of the things that I do to give back to the community because when you go into business or you go into any type of promotion, there's so many unspoken pitfalls that aren't really given to anybody. And it's, if you've experienced it, it's easier to provide that information so people can be more efficient and be more successful. And so that's why I do it.
So I know that I put in something like my request was I live in New Jersey, but I'm promoting a show in Myrtle Beach, and I really could use some help with logistics, with everything,
Yeah.
and just to make it more successful. And would you believe that they were able to find someone who was a New Jersey person, but then was living now in Myrtle Beach, so
Yeah.
understood what I was saying, and also has his own thing going with entertainment on the side. So he's got a lot of
Yeah.
things going, and he immediately knew what I was like saying and the things that I might be encountering. And was just like, okay, you need to add this to your checklist because I thought my checklist was pretty robust. I was wrong.
Yeah, it was pretty a lot of serendipity, right? And I we also talked that at one time I was a amateur power lifter. So I was in the I understood the some of the shows and the competitions and stuff that you folks are involved in and identify with it. So it was pretty cool to have a New Jerseyite that I could show down to Myrtle Beach and get you some of the insights into finding some efficient ways to make your show better. And that was just really cool to do. And none of that, by the way, was planned at all. That was all coincidence.
Wow, that's a
I would have
big
loved to have
coincidence.
told you that we were smart enough to know that somebody from New Jersey would needed to speak to somebody from New Jersey, but just worked out that way. Sometimes things just go the right way. The stars align, right?
Yes, but the powerlifting and doing the shows and being in entertainment and all that stuff, that's a lot, right? To
Yeah.
be coincidental. We're gonna say that, there's some angels up there. I'm gonna say that, right?
Cool.
Because come on, that's a
Cool.
whole lot of coincidences lining up perfectly.
Right.
And I really I didn't have, which is probably sad from my side, I didn't have great expectations, right? I
Mhm.
figured they're gonna connect me with someone at least can help me on the business sense of it and just do some checks and balances, but you have done that and beyond. Like I said, I kind of thought I knew what I was doing, and then we went through some stuff and you were like, okay, that's cute, but here's what you need. And oh,
Yeah.
that's cute too, but here's what you need, right? And I'm not giving away all my secrets. They have to contact you with scores. But yeah, um yeah, one of the things I think I can share is that I loved your idea, and I'm going to share this one because I would love for people to copy this one. Was making my previous competitors my VIPs for this show,
Mhm.
right? And a lot of them sent back emails and things like that, or called or text, and was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool!" or "Oh my gosh, thank you so much!" or "Oh," I mean, like, because we say we do it for them,
Mhm.
so why don't we do it for them? As more,
Right.
add more ways to do it for them. And they seem very, very appreciative of it. And I love that some of the folks that I'm going through the list, like, checking off to make sure they're in the right class and all that for the competitors, they are people that I can see that were in our audience last year, right?
Ah,
So they bought a ticket last year as an audience, member, and now this year they're in the show. I'm
right.
like, score, right? That there you go, score. We're doing
Sure.
something right. That, and two, we've connected with Clemson Bodybuilding. They also
Hmm.
have, I'm sorry, weightlifting, and they have a women's weightlifting team, right? And they're bringing a whole bunch of folks down. They're entering some folks in the show. We just become besties. They're amazing. They're amazing. So, like you said, trying to branch out and find things in around the local area, and
Hmm.
you know, we haven't connected in a couple weeks, but please know that I am using your guidelines, sir. I am doing what you said.
Yeah, I
um,
know. I know. You've been a good student, no doubt. And it's
oh,
exciting. It was always exciting to hear every 2 weeks the checklist that you were running down and how much progress you folks were making. And that's very exciting. That's why we do this, right?
it's amazing. So, how many mentorees or mentees would you say you've had with SCORE? And can you explain SCORE to people who don't know what SCORES does? SCORE. I like to add an
Sure,
S.
sure. So SCORE started out as the acronym used to signify that retired executives would give back to the community and use their business acumen to help entrepreneurs and small businesses that are running into some barriers and challenges to give them their expertise. It's a national organization. We have chapters all over the country. So what happened, but now what's happened is not only do retired executives, but actually active executives do it as well. So I happen to have several businesses down here in Myrtle Beach, and it's I just have the flexibility to be able to take the time to meet with certain individuals that need some mentorship. And we take anything from one-off questions to, as you and I have been doing, several months on a every other week basis to work on a project and continue to work on the improvements and, as you said, go to the accountabilities. Any given time, I have somewhere in my portfolio, ooh, I'd say about 12 mentees that are active. They don't all meet at the same time. They meet at their particular schedule. You know that I have this tendency to have this conversation with you. We go through our list. We say, what are we going to do next? You say, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And I say, great. When are you going to have it done? And typically it's fallen into that 2 week time frame. And then we meet again 2 weeks later to make sure that you're keeping on task. So some of the job that I do is to be creative and be an idea tank for you. Also to have you bounce ideas off me and give you, yeah, that's a great idea, or maybe let's twist it a little bit this way. And then the next part is the accountability. We do too many of any individual, any business. We have too many people that tend to say, I'm gonna do it. And then they have nobody to uh, hold them accountable to it.
Right.
And so that's probably the biggest role that we play is to make sure that you feel that little bit of guilt, little bit of that I don't want to let that individual down. I don't want to give an excuse to them. Some of them do, and unfortunately, we I look at that as a personal responsibility that I save them from a very, very big mistake.
Right.
Some people try and do their open a business, and if I if our conversations convince them not a good idea or you need to rethink this, if I stop them from throwing all their life savings into something that's going to cause them financial hardship, then it doesn't really feel like a success, but we can still say, we saved somebody from making a very terrible mistake.
Right.
Um, the cool thing about SCORE nowadays is that we're all electronic. So SCORE has done a revamp. We used to just focus on our own local community, and we still do. And there are individuals in the local community that come to our particular chapter. But SCORE has made it now that my particular profile with my expertise is out there, and you can search for certain expertise and find perhaps a particular SCORE volunteer and mentor that is closely aligned with what you're looking for and what you're trying to do. And so I have some mentees all over the country, and it's pretty cool.
It's very cool. I'm
Yeah,
so excited. I mean, we do this on our quote unquote spare time. Not that I feel like I have spare time these days, but it's definitely a hobby gone crazy, but in a
right,
good way, right? And I do love doing this. And I've done shows almost like 20 plus years. I
right,
might be closer to 30, but it's different when you're in the promotion seat as when you're expediting or working backstage. And I had promoted before, but I promoted with like 3 other people. So everybody had, you do this, you do this, you do this. We had our little sections and we went off our merry little way. And we were like,
right,
yay, good job. Uh, so now it's like, it's just Lorraine and I. So I feel like, we have to be on top of things. And I really do want, as I said before, to make it more about our competitors.
right.
And make them be inclusive, make them feel, wanted, make them feel special, win their day, because I'll throw it in there. My old friend, Mr. Stone, and that's who the show is named after. He said, please realize that for some of these people on stage, this is the best and biggest event that they've ever done. So you
Mhm.
go, wow, because when you're doing a couple of them, you kind of get used to it. Like, oh, this weekend we're going here, this weekend, right? But for them, it's the biggest and best thing they've ever done. He said, please remember that. And then he said, and then some of them or ever will do.
Yep,
That's the part that got me. I
yep.
was like, wow. Like,
Well,
that's huge,
that
right?
kind of falls into the same bucket as the concept of integrity, right?
Right.
So the concept of integrity is that you should do something even if nobody's watching.
Okay.
And this one feels like it's on a parallel. Like you need to make sure that the people that are going to participate in your show, it's the best experience that you can possibly deliver.
Yes.
And that basically falls under a mission statement, right, of your organization.
Right.
And if you put that mission statement and you put it in writing, it's kind of a measuring stick to everything that you do when you're making your decisions. You say, like, we're making this decision about the venue, we're making this decision about the medals, we're making this decision, everything that you chose, it intuitively you said, but I need to make it the best experience for the one time that a particular person might participate.
Right. And
And
it
that's
branches out into other things that they do. I've seen people take this and, start businesses, or, if they're doing a business, they make it bigger, or
right,
just to have that like kind of feather under their cap kind of thing, just to be like, this is what I did. Might be just a
sure,
check off list. It might be one and done, and that's, that's it for them. But um I know for me, it definitely made me like, I need that to be more aggressive in other things.
mhm,
Right? It's like, okay, if you can do this, you can do other stuff. And it really does. It's not just about that one moment.
yeah,
Even though we want that to be special, it's not just about that one time. Um, it's the whole process of it. If when they look back at it, and when you hear, like, for instance, people in the audience screaming, "Go, grandma!" right? At
that's
a
awesome,
bodybuilding show. It's like, I'm
right,
sorry, that woman's how old? Not saying that the guys aren't just as amazing, but it's a different take, right? To hear that, or just to have the family there, go mom. And like I said, we had a mother and son in our last event, and it was like the two of them competing together. Like,
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
it's cool. It's cool. Definitely
Yeah,
is.
one of the cool things that you and I talked about early on was that you had multiple customers. And I
Yeah,
don't know if you completely digested that early on, but it's certainly now it makes it understood. It makes it apparent that you understand. So some of your customers are the actual participants, but you also have the customers that are your volunteers, and you also have customers that are the ones that are going to watch the show. And that means that you have to kind of think in how they're going to experience it. You have to get in their shoes. And that changed your perspective in everything that you did in terms of your project plan and what you were going to deliver.
yes.
And it shows. I mean, every time you started to get a lot of confidence in making sure that you were delivering a very high quality product to all of those eyeballs,
Right.
depending on what their perspective was.
Exactly. We are so grateful to you. You have no
Thank you.
idea. You have, of course, VIP access, sir.
Woohoo!
We're excited uh, to show and entertain you, so you can see what all your hard work has created. Um,
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah, we're over here having a gush moment, but I tell people, even people not in the bodybuilding area, right? If there's somebody that I met and they're an entrepreneur, I'm like, have you checked out SCORE? Because they're amazing, right? I'm like, if there's something you have questions about, I said they have people, and you've corrected me because I thought it was only people that were retired. So now I know it's
Yeah.
retired and people who are not retired,
Yep.
that are gonna be your guide and your light. And they've done this
Mhm.
stuff before or similar to it, and they're just bringing their expertise. That's amazing, right? To have that lens to look at it a little differently.
Yep.
And like you said, to be able to bounce off stuff like, here's an idea I have. And I love that you say, maybe you'll do it a different way. Actually, folks, he was like, okay, that's cute, but no.
um,
That's how
it
he did it.
needs
He was like,
it
yeah, that's cute. No.
yeah.
Or
It
no,
it
he
needs to
just
be
broke it down.
it needs to be said, Yvonne, that everything we do is free.
Yeah.
Um, there's no obligation to you. It's just that you need to have it's sweat equity though. We're not going to perform the work for you. We'll tell you where to go and get it, or get the work performed for you, or help you find somebody that can do it. But so the advice is free, but it's all sweat equity in terms of delivery. So,
I
and
I appreciate you, and I feel like, it's because of you that we've leaped forward. And you may not say you're not doing the work. To me, that is, just giving me the roadmap.
mhm,
And that's important, right? Because I'm on a 12
sure.
lane highway or something, trying to go
Yep,
in all these directions. You're like, okay, top three. Did you do this, this, and this?
yep.
Yes. Okay. This number four, although you had it on your list, is cute. That's where he was like, yeah, move that aside. Now, five, six, seven, yeah. So for me, having that clarity and just being able to talk to you, right, about this
Mhm.
is just like, I feel like he gets me, folks. He gets me. He
Well,
understands
you're
the crazy.
you're a Jersey girl. Come on.
Yeah. He understands the crazy. Oh, that was one of the things I had to explain, because I love Myrtle Beach, but Jersey is a little fast paced,
Yes, it is.
a little bit. Okay.
A little
And
bit.
time from there to here is not treated the same.
No.
So I had to come out of my New Jersey mode, right? And be a chill South Carolina person,
Yep. No doubt.
because
No doubt.
I'm right in, central Jersey, and I'm go, 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 go. So it's a whole nother lifestyle in Myrtle
It
Beach.
is. And I've been down here for several years now, I kind of appreciate it but having the New Jersey Northeast mindset makes us very competitive down here
Yeah.
in terms of being able to succeed. But I don't feel the desire to change the culture down here. I kind of appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely an moment when we go down there. Everything is seriously, North Myrtle Beach, they gave us such big hugs. They were so
Awesome.
amazing. And yeah, I can't say that enough.
Mhm.
Right? Because we're from Jersey. And they were like, it's good to see you. So it's, I mean, amazing. Yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right.
So
So is there
what
anything
else we
else
got?
you'd like to tell the folks to spread about yourself, any of your many, many businesses, or anything else
Mhm.
you'd like?
Oh, geez. Well, I've lived a fairly full life already. So I'm in the world of music, music performance. I did uh, radio show hosting. I own a couple of liquor stores down here in Myrtle Beach. I own a tech company down here. I've been a chief information officer of a veterinary conglomerate. I have a business improvement. I'm a business improvement specialist as a consultant. Um, I'm with SCORE. I'm with a cappella music and a cappella quartets. I run an HOA, uh, and I'm
Yes,
into
you can
some
see
real
people.
estate.
He has a few skills, just a few. What was the last one? I'm sorry, I was talking. I don't want them to
I'm
miss one.
into real estate
There
too,
you
so
go.
I have some real estate.
And I'm a realtor here in Jersey, so isn't that funny?
Ah, see.
We didn't even talk about that one.
Well, the prices of homes and condos down here has gone up, but it's still much cheaper than where you're coming from.
Oh yeah, Jersey's special. Gotta love her. Gotta love her.
Yep, yep.
Oh my gosh, this is I didn't know that entire list, but that's beyond impressive, sir. So now I'm even
Thank you.
more in awe of you
Thank you.
because you make the whole process feel natural, right? And I'm not sure if all of it is, but you definitely made me feel comfortable immediately, right?
Nice.
I don't know,
You,
and
you get the same. If we go and have a cup of coffee somewhere, you're getting the same person. I don't do anything different. So,
uh, well, I appreciate you. Thank you for taking your time
oh, my
to
pleasure.
share what you do and talk. I said, oh my gosh, I said it before we started recording. Like I've been telling everybody about it. And then people look at you like sideways when you say, oh, they don't charge you. They're like, what do you mean? I'm
Yep,
like, they don't charge it. Like, what do you mean?
that's right. All we ask is that you're attentive and that you stick to your what you said you're going to do. That's all.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
it.
Well, I'm hoping that at least, I'm not going to say one, I'm going to say at least 20 people pay attention to this video, right? And, you know, go onto the page, do some research of your own, of course, but I got to tell you that I felt bad that I hadn't come back sooner. Like, duh, I knew about you, about SCORE, but I hadn't used them for other businesses and things like that. So, everything happens in its time, but here's one of those when people are looking for golden nuggets or, that check that's going to make the difference.
Yep.
I hope that they will take the time, do their research, check out SCORE and see what they can do for you because they're amazing.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Been my pleasure, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
So,
I know we
yeah,
can talk for hours. I'm not going to
we
take any
certainly
more of your
could.
time. I'm looking
Oh,
forward to
well,
seeing you
okay. I
and
will
meeting
see
you in
you.
person.
Yes,
That's so
ma'am.
cool.
Yep. So I'm in October over in North Myrtle Beach, right?
Yes, October 12th. Hello.